Alrighty, howdy all, Tony down at Green's Motorcycle Salvage again, and today you can see here is a 2007 Yamaha V-Star 1100 Classic. It does already have the V-Star saddlebags on it. It has your little billeted tank pad cover there, billets on the side of the seats, and we've got a Trevor walking by. Hi Trevor. And it does have the floorboards, heel toe shifter. It is the Classic. It does have a rebuilt title sitting at $3,900, and with the screwy key positioning up there, looking at 20,117 miles. And now for the all-important start. Oh yeah, this is. And there it is. And now time to go for a little ride. Vroom, vroom, vroom! Oh my goodness, where's the brakes? Heel toe shifting fun! Woo! Alrighty guys, so like I said, I'm on an 07 Yamaha V-Star Classic. It's like those plastic pickles. Comes with a crunch. Well, hopefully don't get a crunch while you're riding it. But yeah. So anyways, it is the 1100, has the floorboards, and something I failed to mention in the video, or in the walk around, was it has aftermarket exhaust on it as well. So as you can hear, that nice little rumble. Oh, hold on a second. I got. Enjoy your view of the sky. There we go. Oh, gotta adjust these mirrors though. Yeah, attention to detail, man. That's what we're all about here. Well, I'll show you here in a second what I'm talking about. I'll wait till I get over railroad tracks before I show you what I'm talking about. So anyways, it's a V-Star Classic 1100. I love these heel toe shifters. I actually like the sound of this one, the ride of it so far, which hasn't been much of a ride, obviously. But yeah. Let's get over here on the smoother part. But yeah, it's a nice little running motorcycle, a little rebuilt title, just your traditional cruiser type, traditional cruiser motorcycle, nice and loud, comfy ride. What I was talking about on these mirrors, well, you can't see it from the camera angle, they're adjusted funny. I mean, we had to mess with them with these big old massive awesome titanium gloves, like regular gloves are barehanded, you're okay, but something that has a knuckle blade on it like that, it hits the mirrors. Which are not adjusted correctly anyway, so that's something we had to fix with it. But attention to details, that's what it's all about whenever you got a motorcycle. You gotta pay attention to the little details, otherwise you're just gonna get frustrated. So anyways, yeah, it's a little V-Star 1100 Classic, nice comfy seat. Let's see, I'm gonna ride it just a little bit here. Got a nice exhaust note to it. It is the 5-speed heel toe shifter. Got that giant brake pedal over for the rear brake, and not much wind resistance on it, which is always a plus, even though you're sitting well up above the tank and the bike. It handles through turns just fine, which I haven't really gotten into the good turns up here yet. But just those little initial turns on this road, it does fine going through them. Taking it at a reasonable speed, don't have to worry about the floorboards dragging or scraping. But of course, if you're going to ride it a little more aggressive, excuse me. But of course, if you're going to ride a little bit more aggressive, then you got those floorboards and that satisfying scraping going on, just because it's so easy to scrape the floorboards. Yeah, it just dips into turns nice and easy. Granted, just doing 35 behind this guy, but still, it runs nice and fine. It actually has a little bit more oomph to it than the last 1100 V-Star 1100 I rode. So that's a pleasant surprise. The last one didn't have much to it. It was like riding a 750 Shadow. So this one does have that going for it. It does actually feel like it's more like an 1100 instead of just feeling like an entry-level cruiser. So that's definitely a bonus to the motorcycle. You're not giving up the gas mileage of a smaller displacement engine for nothing. Granted, you're still not giving up that much anyways. You're still looking at about a 50 mile to the gallon motorcycle, 45-50 miles to the gallon motorcycle. So it's not much to really scoff at anyways for the amount of comfort that you get out of it. So that's a nice bonus. Of course, the one thing that I did notice on it is, having riding sport bikes, the brakes on this thing are rather squishy compared to that. But as far as the cruiser goes, the brakes are just fine. It does have the little heel hand rest over on the throttle side, so you don't have to always be gripped onto the. Don't always have to grip the throttle. You can just have your hand there on it, and you got that. Just to move your hand position around, so you can work your fingers, whatever. You don't actually have to let off the throttle, which is a huge bonus. Because say that's something that I would like to have. Throttle lock or something along those lines on my bike, since I do go on longer rides, especially considering it's the only mode of transportation I've got, and that would be very nice to have something like that. But I don't know, it'd be nice to have, but it's not something I'm too fond of, just because of how often you may have to change your throttle and different things like that. So here we go, and I'm just going to turn around and go back down that way. That seems to be what I've been doing here. This is a nice little turnaround spot anyways. I like seeing the turning radius on the motorcycles, especially on these cruisers, and which of course they just turn around just fine, especially considering I'm not doing it actually in the lane, so it's not that big of a deal. But if you have just a little bit of room, they're easy enough to turn around even without really dipping into it and doing it properly. So now we can go back through this way a little bit. Be a little bit more playful with it. And it just runs right along. When we get up over 60, there is some wind resistance, but the motorcycle itself, it runs fine. And that's coming, of course, from someone who rides primarily sport bikes. So, and I don't get on cruisers too much except for at the shop, or just whenever I really feel like cruising along on that little Shadow 600. So that's just something different to me. But the wind resistance isn't bad still. It still does fine. And it's got plenty of pickup. I will give it that. Just low end acceleration. It just pulls in whatever gear you're in. So that's a nice added bonus. You don't have to worry about getting it into the right gear to pass. It's not like with a little 4-cylinder car or a smaller displacement bike. It just pulls whenever you need it to pull. And that exhaust note's actually really nice. I like that. Don't have to listen to the engine, you can actually hear the exhaust note and know what's going on back there, how it's pulling. how it's running, what the RPMs are at, all that jazz. You know what I'm trying to say, because apparently I cannot speak today. Oh, and you really have to get it over there to get to those floorboards. That's nice. Let's get up here and do a top gear roll on. We'll get it down, what do we want to do, about 50. So we can do a top gear roll on the highway, which should be plenty good. Get down here off the hill. Yep. It pulls very nicely at the top gear roll on, so we don't have to worry about downshifting to pass somebody. It does fine on that. It's a nice quick acceleration, quick 20-mile-per-hour acceleration for passing. And the seat is nice and wide. The seat, I really like this seat. On cruisers, I mean, it's more about comfort, in my opinion, whenever I ride them, because it's more what you do. You cruise along, you're on them for a long period of time. It's not as much of a plaything as a sport bike or a supermoto, and so that's kind of nice that the way it pulls along, or not pulls along, the way that the seat is shaped, it doesn't cut into your legs. You just sit down on it. You're not actually sitting down into a saddle, you're actually sitting down on the seat. It's a nice and comfortable seat. So it's very nice. This seat's about as comfortable as the VTX. It's on par with the 1100 Sabre. Actually, it's a little more plush, a little softer than the Sabre, so it is more like the VTX. So that is a very nice thing to notice with this motorcycle. Yamaha's done a good job with that, and like I said, it's going to be a nice, good bike you can use for longer distance rides. With the gas mileage, be able to take advantage of that tank, of the larger fuel tank, but should be able to get 150, 200 miles out of the tank. Wouldn't be surprised if you actually could get more. And that, I think, would be about it. It's just a nice little smooth running motorcycle. Nice little cruiser. It's not one that's overpowering. It's not like those crazy VTX 1800s where they're big pouting. I really can't talk today. Big potent machines. So there is that. To be an easy one to step onto if you're comfortable with the weight and size of the bike, even as a more of a starter bike or a young rider bike, or not a young rider bike, but a newer rider bike. So that's nice. And yeah, I think that'll be about it. So come on down to the shop. Come down and see us. Come down and see Jamie. Let's see if what it is you're looking for, something we can get for you. We do have an obscene amount of parts for late model Japanese motorcycles. And then you can also come on over by the website, greencyclesalvage.com, and check out the inventory that we've got for the completed motorcycles or motorcycles as is. And we do have the new parts request form on the website there on the right side. Just enter your make, model, year of the bike, email address, and the phone number if you want to contact you by telephone. And tell us what you're looking for. We can ship to you as well through UPS if it's something small enough for us to ship. And then hop on over either through the website on the home page. You can like our Facebook page through our website, or you can go to Facebook and search for Green's Motorcycle Salvage, and you'll find us there. And the other thing that we've added, which of course is where we're putting these videos, is our YouTube channel. And you can search YouTube for Green's Motorcycle Salvage, and you can find us there. So that'll about do it. And I'll talk to you all here next week.